It is your girl, Senora Chavez. The motion, the movement, the campaign. Queen ENT new programming, Makeup and Chill with Senora Chavez. Queen, so I'm gonna do my makeup today. I'm actually gonna go on Facebook Live and work on my freestyles because y'all, as y'all know, Facebook saved the streams, and a lot of my creativity be coming from the lives, and I can't save these live streams, but Facebook will save them. So when I'm doing my creative freestyles and stuff, that way y'all can have them, y'all can look at them and be influenced for real by the motion, the movement, and the campaign. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna do my makeup and chill today, and then show y'all the outfit that we doing. So I know we be doing fun topics, y'all. So today's makeup and chill topic, I want to do this topic so bad, and I know I don't want to ruffle too many feathers, but y'all is gonna think this. I don't know. I ain't trying to be funny, but I be wanting to know. All right, do y'all love people, or do you love the idea of people? I want to check out y'all emotions. Like, do y'all feel emotions? And when I tell y'all with this, I'm gonna go deep in this today, makeup and chill, because I'm curious. Because from my observations, it seems like the people that I be around, they get emotional about people. And the emotions are not love based. The emotions are ego based. So I'd be like, do you really like this person? Do you feel them? Do you like, is there energy? Like, do y'all have the capacity to feel? Are you adequate of love? That's the real question. Because I feel like this game called life, it plays us out, it burns us out on purpose, right? To where you have no emotions anymore. And it's almost like the emotions are not real. Emotions are just it's like a mood. That's what we have. We have mood changes. We have changes in mood. And I'll be looking at like people who so-called, oh, I was so in love with them, I can't believe they played me like that. Did you really love them, or did they just stroke your ego and make you feel good? Because if the person stopped stroking your ego, would you still feel the same way about them? Because what I've seen from my observations, like you can have a person who genuinely care about you, shows you everything that you need to have to build a successful life, and you don't give a fuck about them, right? Or excuse me, you don't care about them. But the person who like strokes your ego and like make you feel big, like make you feel like you better than somebody, or allows you to put down on other people, like you'll be all emotionally involved and invested in them. And then when them same people show you like, okay, I was just here just for show, like, do your feelings get hurt? You know, I be wondering this. I don't know. So, I told you I'm gonna do a story time. Cause I told y'all about my hood, Sodom and Gomorrah for real. So this is a perfect story time. So I was talking to this one dude, and like, you know, I gave him a place to stay. I welcomed him in my home, and then we moved in together. And, you know, the dude was showing me he didn't like me or whatever. You know, he was always online dating like most dudes do. Like, you know, what they call them, homosexuals. No shade to the homosexuals, because it's a dirty game out here. That's why one thing about Queen, Senora Chavez, I'm a mother. So when I say I'm a mother of mine, a monster. And when I tell y'all I'm a mama of all creation. So this is why I'm an empath. Well, they say I'm an empath, allegedly. I think they just label you an empath so they could try to get over on you. But I'm an empath to the fact where I know in a past life I birthed all creation, right? In a past life I was the mother of all creation. So I feel like all these species and different things belong to me. I rule the world. I rule the universe. I rule the galaxies and beyond. Because all of these are descendants of my lineage from me. They came from me. Because I'm a creator. And all these things that I'm experiencing in this life are like my lineage from things that I created in a past life. So I said all that to say is I don't bash homosexuals because I know the depth of why men are homosexuals. Okay, I know the depth, the deeper meaning behind that. So I don't bash them for that. Because I'm their mama. I'm Big Mama. Queen ENT, Senora Chavez, the emotional movement, the campaign. But anyway, I said all that to say, you know, or whatever. He started acting like, okay, so we were, fortunately for with this guy, I want to say I didn't have romantic feelings either. So gratitude for that. I didn't have romantic feelings for this man either. And cause we was having fun. He was like a gay best friend almost. And cause I'm a loner. Y'all know I'm a loner, and I rarely allow people in my energy. So this guy, I was thinking he was a loner too. You know, I'm usually a good judge of character, but based on his current situation, and then I'm gonna tell you how this story unravels. Story time, y'all. It's a good story time because it's like a deeper lesson in all this. So so I figured this guy was just a loner too, because he didn't have like plugs and connections to get him to what he needed to get in the game, right? And I could sense it. You know, I could tell, like, he showed me what his involvement was. He showed me how he got around or whatever. So basically, you know, how he was moving to get the little stuff that he did get, right? So I looked at him as a friend more so. So it's like moving in with your roommate, right? And so, you know, he pretty much did his own thing. Like, I could tell he was dating and talking to other people, you know, but I'm not. I was working and taking care of my children at the time. So it's like I wasn't in the dating scene, in the dating world. And like I said, I'm a one-man woman, y'all. So I don't entertain multiple dudes at one time because I don't get nothing from that, you know. I don't I don't gain, like, you know, some girls just like guys talking to them, just like attention. There you go. I'm not an attention whore. There we go. That's what it was. I'm not an attention whore. So I don't need to entertain a bunch of guys to make me feel better about myself. So I had one guy at the house, you know, we were like friends with benefits for real. You know, he's of course he said, "Oh, you my girlfriend, so we could move in together." You know, he put on that facade, but eventually he broke down and told me, you know, he was feeling how I was feeling, like we just friends. And he gave me the just friends vibe anyway, because he was like a gay best friend. Because we talked about girl stuff, like we could talk. I tell him anything. Like, he was a whole vibe at one point. I'm gonna tell you how the tables turned though. This is why I get into this. Like, do you love, or does your ego love attention? Are you adequate of love, or do you love to have your ego stroked? See, this is the depths of this, y'all. So, anyway, so we move in together. Of course, he's still talking to other people, which is fine. I ain't care, because I was working, making my own money. So we doing our own thing. We both had our own cars. So we was in our own separate worlds. You know, I still had my life. He had his life. It was chill. It was just nice because we had a bigger space to share together. Like, you know, and the house had a pool too. So, you know, I was always on live on the weekend at the pool, doing my exercises, karaoke, same thing, y'all. One thing about Senora Chavez, they can say what they want about Senora Chavez, but I've been consistently being myself my whole life. I've always consistently been myself. And I know they always like, "Oh, we got to put you in a box, put you in a box." I'm fun free. I'm fun and carefree. I don't know what box to put you in, because I like to exercise. I like to drink. I like to smoke. I like to dance. I like to sing. I like to write. I like to read. I like to be creative. I like telling jokes. It's a lot of things that I like to do, but I just figure everybody is like this, right? Am I the only one? Like, I don't know what box do you put that in, just a free spirit, right? So anyway, I like to do yoga. I like to meditate. I like doing hair and makeup. I don't fit in a box. I'm everything. I like music. Like, I like everything. So anyway, I was doing all this while this dude over here doing what he do, right? But gratitude for the dude, because like this dude or whatever, he got me back on social media, because at one point I deactivated my social media for some trauma, because, you know, I had went through this trauma time where I was just going through it. Like, the universe was just sending all these texts. Gratitude for those attacks, because we Senora Chavez emotional movement campaign. But I had went through this traumatizing experience, and after that I like cut the world off. And then I met this guy, and he seemed like cool enough to share, you know, just be cool with, or a friend. He was like the first friend I had, because he was easy to talk to. Like, we could talk, like girl talk. He was a good time at first. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, this is what I'm getting to, y'all. So these the stories, Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. These stories, these wild ass stories, they be tripping for real. So meanwhile, I'm doing all this. I'm having a good time. He was actually helping me with my content as well. Like, he wasn't in the content, but like setting up the lighting, showing me the platforms and stuff that I could use and showcase my personality. So gratitude for him. He's the real MVP for that. Cause like now I'm like back on here being myself, doing me. But I'm telling you where the destruction comes in, y'all. This is where the destruction, the sabotage comes in for real. So we were all cool at once. So now he starts acting like changing behaviors. Like, he gets snippy with me, and like he'll say stuff. I gotta get like, oh, like it was one behavior he showed. Oh, okay, this how, okay, because y'all know I know how to read between the lines. So I was riding with him, and we were looking for a gym for us to join or whatever. And then he went on this rant out of nowhere, you know, because I tell you, we talked like friends. We were like good friends in real life, though. I'm going to give a guy credit where credit was due. I consider him my friend because I could talk to him. Like, I rarely meet guys that you could just talk. That's why I was like, he was like a gay best friend. Because you could have, girl, he know what going on with the females. Like, he know the music, the hair, like the nails, how to do the content. Like, he was like a gay best friend for real. So I was talking to him, and we was trying to find a gym, and he said out the blue, like, he was so upset because I could tell something was bothering him all day because he was acting weird, like he had somewhere to be, like he was rushing to be somewhere, which was fine because I'm like, why he you know, I could have just took my own car to find the gym. I don't know what, like, we ain't have to go together. Like, you know how people make problems and make anything a problem. That's how I felt like he was doing. So he said, I can't stand these girls. Y'all all, he said the girls all want young guys, these thugs, these gangbangers, just because they're cute. And he said this randomly. And I'm like, dang, who is he talking about? Because, like I said, I'm a one-man woman. Like, I wasn't talking to nobody, especially not like that. That's not even my type. I honestly, I like a nerd. I would prefer a nerd, but I don't meet those. I was lucky, fortunately enough, to have like a gangster nerd, like a baby from a gangster nerd. But I don't like, honestly, no shade to y'all. Y'all look handsome, but I don't like the golds and the chains. I don't like that kind of stuff. I like my men to look more lax and conservative, you know. So I was just like, where is he getting this from? Because he know I go to work, and it ain't guys like that at my work. Because I was working in an insurance company. None of the men looked like that at my job. I didn't know what he was talking about. But, you know, I noticed like little stuff he would do. Like, he'll try to like shave his face to make himself look younger. And just do little stuff. And like things started happening around me. Like, I would get like weird ads and stuff on the internet and crazy stuff. From like younger girls. So I'm thinking like, you know, I'm just putting all the pieces to the puzzle together, and I'm like, oh, he must be talking to a young girl. And you ever hear the saying how when a guy will be mad at you because of something their girlfriend did? So that's what it was. Like, his girlfriend was messing with a younger guy, so he was just taking his like insecurities out or whatever. He was venting about it. So yeah, he was talking to a younger girl, which I didn't mind because, like I said, at the time I was big in my content. Like, back then, my stuff was booming. All my platforms were booming. And, I did my makeup in the mirror, dancing in the mirror. Like, I was so dedicated to doing my content. Like, I was streaming all day. And this was a nice home that we had rented together or whatever. So I was just so dedicated to my content, and like I said, we were already established a friendship, and and then like right when we moved into the house, because I told you, homosexuals. So I felt like he was doing that, like trying to find a place to stay, which was fine, because I was like, okay, we could split the rent or whatever. It's a backstory on that too. I'm gonna tell you, Sodom and Gomorrah, but I'll say that for a different day. So but as soon as we moved in there, he was like because I guess he was the opportunist, of course, like all men are. And I guess he thought I had motion like that. He didn't know I was just working a 9 to 5. Like, people look at me and just, I don't know, it's like they think you got some money somewhere hidden, buried, whatever. But he didn't know I was working. So when he found out I was working a 9 to 5, he was like, yeah, we should be better off friends, which was fine. And because the house had an extra bedroom. Oh, they had like 4 bedrooms in the house. So I turned one of the rooms into my room. And then I would just do my content, chill by the pool. So it was fine. It was an okay living arrangement. Now, this is where the nonsense happens, y'all. This is why I'm trying to figure out, do y'all love people or do y'all like people who stroke y'all egos? because I could tell he was catching feelings for the young girl, because how he would act, like everything would be based around, like the conversations would be based around this girl. And so now eventually, of course, the young girl came after me. Long story short, she started harassing me and doing silly stuff like playing mind games, and it was just mediocre. So I was like, I need to remove myself. First, I wanted to break, like I told him, because he kept, it was like he was using me to get other women, right? Because he wasn't a very attractive guy, but he wasn't that ugly. He just wasn't, I don't know. Maybe because he was a homosexual, he couldn't get women like that. I don't know. I don't know the backstory. I don't know. Men just weird for real. But every day I would come home from work, he would tell me about a different woman. And I'm like, okay. And mind you, I consider him like a gay best friend. And, you know, gay boys are messy like that. They talk, they gossip. So he's telling me about these different women that I have no clue who they are. And then he would get frustrated that I wouldn't interact with him about who these different women were. But I don't have no idea who these women are. I'm like, these are your acquaintances. Like, what does that have to do with me? I mean, are they paying your half of the rent? The story unfolds, y'all. This is what was happening too. They were paying his half of the rent to get to me. Weirdos, like for real. So every day he would just antagonize me about these women. Mind you, we roommates now, because I have my own room, he got his own room. So at this point, it's like, why are you coming to my face about this? This Sodom and Gomorrah. This happening in Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. Tale of two cities, for real. This is how ratchet this shit is. Ratchet. Ratchet as hell. Now, so he wasn't getting me to entertain him. Mind you, I have no idea who these women are, and I'm a loner. He knew I was a loner when we met, right? Because we was kicking it together every day. His phone didn't ring. You know, he showed me a couple of his acquaintances, of course, that were putting him on, like, you know, breaking him off. But they were older ladies. Like, they looked like they was just using him for, you know, like penis, you know? Like a dildo. Which ain't no shade to them, because all us do that, right? That's what all women do. That wasn't a big deal to me that he had that going on, because I'm like, you know, I was single. Shoot, when you want somebody to come off, you break them off and get your rocks off. So I ain't think it was nothing serious. Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. I'm tell you. So now he couldn't get a reaction out of me, right, to entertain these women. Psycho. But I knew he was in love with the younger girl, though, because he would like do extra stuff to try to impress her. But this is why I go to people, do you love them or do they stroke your ego? Because he had a lot of women, right? But this young one was the one that had his attention. And I knew he was catching feelings for her, always thinking about her and stuff like that. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe, you know, now that, you know, as the story unfolds, I realized, okay, he didn't like that girl. He liked the fact that she made him feel big, you know, because this is how the tables turn. So after I guess the women weren't getting the entertainment they wanted out of me, or being able to pass me around to their friends, I don't know. They were just like throwing, like, they would just make up scenarios like, oh, he's cheating this, he's cheating that. Mind you, we're roommates. So I'm like, where are they getting these stories from, and who are these women? Like, why do you care about me so much? Like, this man has his own side of the house. Like, what do I have to do with what y'all got going on? So it didn't make sense. So eventually I had to leave this guy. I was trying to get him to leave, because I was like, well, you know, if you're thinking that you keep coming back telling me what the next B say, like, why don't you go move in with them? Because I could get my homegirl from work to move in. She could pay your rent, half of the rent. And we could be bachelorettes and make this a bachelorette pad. Hence. And this the girl who put me on, like, the shadow. She sold makeup. I love this girl. This would have been perfect set. We could have did some hella good content in the house with her, because she's a diva. Like, she can dress, do makeup. I really would have liked it that. That would have been a perfect content house for us too, by the way. This Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. This trifling. So, trifling. They just trifling. So he didn't want to leave. So I got a job and I went out of state. This is how I ended up in Georgia or whatever. So I go to Georgia. These psychos harassing me, gang stalking me, and they're doing all this. So eventually, you know, I settle down. I finally isolate. I get to a place where I can just not be bothered. And then I start doing my fitness journey. And I start over my life, get me a new crib and all this. So, but meanwhile, while all this is happening, like all this in the midst, like these same women are still harassing me. So I'm like, okay, well, you don't live. Mind you, this guy was just a roommate. Just a roommate. So Sodom and Gomorrah, this is how they knock on your door. They want to sleep with the angel. This is exactly what was happening. The women are lesbians. Like in Sodom and Gomorrah, they talk about how the men was hunching all the men. It's like it was reversed for me. It was a lot of like women who were using the men so they could come have sex with me. It's sick. It's sick. And that's what they were doing. They were trying to traffic me to their women. Literally, because the guys didn't want you. The guys don't want, like, in real life, like, it seemed like the men don't really like the women like that. The men weren't pursuing me. It was all females. So they couldn't get direct contact with me. So they were using my roommate to contact me so they can come try to sleep with me. Lesbians, like, they real life lesbians. But instead of them being women and just coming up to you, because like I said, I was about to have a move in a girl roommate anyway and make it a content house. So that was crazy though. But this is where I'm going to tie into the ego and the love, right? So meanwhile, he's, head over heels over this girl. But the whole time, like, this crazy girl, I don't being left him. This just was my roommate. And I'm like, why is this character following me around town? This is getting weird, right? So turns out the girl didn't want him. She wanted me. Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. This Sodom and Gomorrah. The female version. The girl didn't even want the dude. She wanted me the whole time. So the whole time he don't caught feelings for this girl, bending over backwards for this girl. He doing all this for this girl, and the whole time the girl didn't even want him. Mind you, he was acting like he was so in love with her, but the whole time, I guess after, I left the equation and the girl started still stalking me and stuff, I guess he realized, okay, and I think he was just entertaining that. Like, he liked it, that, like, it stroked his ego, the fact he had a younger girl, and she was chasing me. But I'm like, I guess it never clicked to him that, dang, this girl really want this girl. She don't want me. But I think it just stroked his ego, the fact that a girl was still entertaining him. I'm like, well, but anyway, long story short, after spending years apart from this character, the girl showed her true colors, like that she what I guess they weren't compatible after I left. Basically what I was getting at. Like, the only thing they had in common was hating on me and getting to me. Like, she was acting like a big hater towards me, but she really wanted to sleep with me. She was weird. But he over here, like he was with the girl, and they was getting along off the strength of them being jealous of me, like putting me down. Like, it was the only reason their relationship lasted, because they got off the strength of trying to belittle and berate me. So after I left the equation and I wasn't around for her to belittle or berate or try to feel bigger than, she starts stalking me. And I'm like, well, if you got the guy, why are you stalking me? So Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. So this girl was just a lesbian, and she wanted to have sex with me for, I guess, fame or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? They're weird. They're monsters. But it was like, he was so in love with this girl, but I was like, now, how the tables turn, because, you turn your back on the people who there for you for an ego, right? To have your ego stroked. This is what most guys do. As long as somebody's stroking their ego, that's why I say I don't think they're adequate of love. I don't think they love people. I think they just like getting their ego stroked. I don't know if they have feelings for these girls, because after the girls show their true intention, oh, I'm only coming around to get attention from your girlfriend. And they like, if I can't get attention from the girlfriend, I ain't gonna come around no more. That's what they do. So I'm like, do you still love them? Or do you like the fact that you were smarter than somebody? Like, do you like that your ego is being stroked? That's why I be trying to figure out, like, because these girls don't like you, but you love them. And, I know men like women who are easily to manipulate. So I'm like, okay, do you love them, or do you just love to manipulate them to make them clown and act up? Like puppet master. And people like control. I'm learning that. A lot of people like control over people. So if you can puppet somebody, like if you can get them to dance, that's why I say this Queen ENT. This how I came up Queen ENT, living in the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. This how I came up with it, because I noticed a lot of people were dancing. So I'm like, maybe they like the fact that these girls will dance. Like, they'll do anything. They'll do anything until I disappear. Because these girls will dance. They'll do the dance, but if they ain't getting no attention off of me, they ain't gonna dance no more. So do you love them, or do you love the fact that you can manipulate and control them and make them dance? Right. Ego. So A man ain't gonna make me dance. You can't make me dance. Because one thing I was gifted, I'm a royal high priestess, right? So I'm royal high priestess. I don't have a big ego. Like, those are, you know, all those traits like ego, jealousy, hate, greed. Those are toxic traits. Those are poison, bloodline, curse traits that y'all get. And I'll do that in another video. That's going to be a deep video about our ancestral curse, our slavery curse and the bloodline curse. Because that curse is on the bloodline. That's why y'all be so toxic like that. It's a certain species, all the species I want to say, but they all got that curse down here. That's why I say Sodom and Gomorrah, like I'm reporting back. I'm telling y'all what's going on. I'm like reporting back, like they ratchet down here for real. They ratchet. Because they ain't got no feelings. They ain't got no emotion. All they care about is greed, jealousy, envy, hate, ego, and attention. They live off of that. That's all they have going on for themselves down here. So if you don't have those traits, it's hard to survive out here. I mean, I'm eternal, but I'm wise enough and strong enough to know that they can't touch me for real. They can't touch me, and the reason why they can't touch me is because I don't have those traits. Those are toxic traits, and those toxic traits, they weaken your body, they weaken your mind, they weaken your spirit, they weaken your vessel. So it makes you an open target. It makes you open season. They like ducks out here for real. So they open season for target practice. So they could shoot me all day, but I got a force field because I don't have that toxic, that I don't have that curse on my bloodline, our royal bloodline. It's not that curse on my bloodline, so I could take the hits because I got a force field. Because anything they do to me is gonna push back on them. That's why I say I'm a big hitter for real. That's why I say I was a booby trap for their ass. Because I'm the one they could not taint. I'm the one they could not touch. I'm untouchable. Sodom and Gomorrah. But I said all that to say that I had to share that story time of, you know, some of the things I'm going to share other stories, y'all. But that was just one of the stories on Sodom and Gomorrah that, like, got me into really isolating and being by myself and not wanting to deal with these folks. Why the angel got to sit in the house. That's one of the main reasons the angel sit in the house. Because I learned, like, these dudes don't like the girls. They be trying to trick out the girls to get to their girlfriends and their wives to eat off their energy. They sick. And if the girlfriends and the wives can't eat off of it, girlfriend, wives, sister, cousins, whatever, because these females, they are big whores, like they attention whores. So if they can't eat off your attention, they go insane. So they send the guys to like drive you crazy to make you give them the attention. So Sodom and Gomorrah. Story time. Sodom and Gomorrah for real. I gotta come up with a name. I'm gonna call it Tale of Two Cities, I guess, but we need to come up with another name for this. Like, this hood comedy, because it was a hood comedy, like the stuff they were doing, and then that ain't even half the stuff. Like, I'm just giving y'all like the shortened version. I ain't tell y'all how these girls would steal my clothes out my house. They would steal my clothes, my shoes. They stole my pictures, my family pictures. They were crazy. They would go through all my tax records. They were wild. That's why I had to get out this house. I was like, I can't even be your roommate because they out for blood, like these Sodom and Gomorrah. It was like that. They was fiending for the angel energy. They were fiending for it. Like they gonna take it. The part of the reason I actually got raped out of that situation. I was date raped in that situation too, by the roommate, by the gay roommate. Missy, that's, you know, I be playing like I want a gay best friend, but them gay boys evil for real. They do be evil. They be evil and cowardice. So I was. That's another reason why I don't like having friends for real. Cause yeah. My roommate got me raped for real. My roommate got me raped. So that's why I called it Sodom and Gomorrah for real. Because he drugged me and got me raped. So, yeah, it was horrible. Sodom and Gomorrah. This shit is real out here, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all it's real for real. But that's just one of my many stories, y'all. That's just one of many that I'm going through out here in Sodom and Gomorrah for real. But gratitude though, because I'm a big G, and that's why I say that a lot of this times, like the stuff that they do, those are spiritual traps to keep them caged, because they already cursed. Their bloodline's already cursed. Their bloodline, their lineage is already cursed. So when they attack people like me, you know, with their royal lineage, that basically the people who ain't bother nobody minding their business, when they attack and try to bully you to be one of them, it backfires, because those be hits on their whole bloodline that keeps them slaves forever. That's how they keep the system keeping them slaves. Because as long as they doing stupid shit, they always going to be slaves because they got to pay their debt. And usually they pay their debt by attacking your body. They'll get rid of your body. You have an out-of-body experience. They'll kill your kids. They'll kill your family. They'll take your job. They'll take your house. They take your whole way of living. They take your whole way of life. That's what they do. That's why I say it was just a booby trap. That was just a big booby trap. And to get rid of them. And you know, for whatever reason, he felt the need to sacrifice me to his whores. He did, but he did do that. But you know, I'm not crying over it. You know, it's like some things you can't control. You know, anything, it just shows you how strong you are, and it gives you the wisdom. And if it wasn't for that situation, I wouldn't be able to tell the story. You know, tell the story of the iniquity, the curse, the generational curse on their bloodline. I wouldn't be able to use my platform to highlight and, you know, shed light on that for real. Because there is a curse on them. There is a generational curse. That's why they're so toxic. That's why they always trying to kill, steal, and destroy people. But they have to do it because that's their only way to survive. Like, they can't survive if they don't do the dirty deeds. That's their curse. Like, they have to keep doing dirt for the rest of their existence to get around. And the same dirt that they do to get around is the same reason they can do those hits on their lives and punish them. And that's why they go through so much pain. That's why they go through so much sorrow. That's why they stay in poverty. That's why they stay in lack. That is a curse. That is a big curse. Y'all know I told y'all I'll be reporting back. Like, reporting back to the higher powers. Like, this ratchet crap going down here. They ratchet as hell. But, you know, I feel like this was the season for the big hit. This was the biggest hit on them because I was something they was not supposed to touch. I was something that they weren't supposed to taint. And so now it's like a chain reaction, I would say, a domino effect. Because everybody involved in that has a hex on them. So that's multiple species, multiple bloodlines. That's multiple curses. That's a hex. And the hex is so powerful and so great. And because of my, because I really don't bother nobody. That's what it was. I told you the force field is so powerful. So now the impact of that curse is like a mass wipeout. So it's going to wipe out the masses for everybody who entertained that. And it was just because the bloodline was so powerful, the force field was so powerful, because you're not supposed to punish someone. It's a rule to this game. You know, people always tell you their stories, how they were raped, how things happening to them. That stuff be karmic debt from something that they done, or something that their family member has done, because sometimes the family members sell their soul, and then the kids or whatever have to see the repercussions of what another family member did. It's like curse or hex on their bloodline. So I feel like, you know, the universe, I was the final hex. Like, I was the final curse, because I'm the generational curse breaker. So since I'm breaking the curse, everything tied to that curse has to go. So that means that whole demonic species, like that whole bloodline, that whole DNA, that whole spiritual makeup, it has to go. Sodom and Gomorrah, you got to burn the house down. And that's exactly what happened. The house got burned down. So they're vanishing, their existence, they're depleting. Like, they're getting rid, like, this game called life is game over right now. You heard it here first, and you're the Chavez. The motion, the movement, the campaign. But that was one of my stories. That was one of the most horrifying ones. I have other horrifying ones, but that one was the worst because I actually got raped out of that. And I did nothing to provoke that. So, you know. And you see, I ain't talk bad about the person who allowed it to happen to me. I didn't talk bad about him because, like I said, I was the mother of all creation in a past life. So these my demon seeds. Like, these, I feel like I came back here reincarnated to see what my children have produced. And my children have produced ratchet trash, demonic trash. So because I'm their mama, I got to get rid of the trash. You know that saying, I bought you in this world, I could take you out? That's exactly what's happening right now. I bought them in this world. I was the one that was supposed to take them out. And that's exactly why the universe allowed them to sacrifice me like that. Because it was their time to get taken out. They needed a reason to take their ass out. So, basically, they gave them one. So, Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all. The hood, Sodom and Gomorrah. And I know y'all like, this don't sound like a comedy. It was a comedy because there was a lot of funny shit going on. Like I said, it was stealing my clothes, my pictures, and crazy stuff. Stealing food out my house, sneaking in and out my house, like acting like they needed somewhere to stay. And I ain't even know these strangers sneaking in and out my home that I'm paying for. They were psychotic. They were psychotic. It was a lot of crazy stuff going on. They was messing with my car, like took my oil pan off my car. Like, they was stealing my mail. Like, they were crazy. They was psycho. And I'm like, dang, if y'all would have had sex with me, I probably would have been flattered. You probably would have had a better chance if you would have just came up to me and asked. Why is you going through all these links to get attention from me and I don't even know you characters? And I'm like, you would have had a better platform if you would have just came up to me. Like, even, like I told you, my homegirl at work, I wanted to move in and was going to make that a content house. Just simple. I'm like, this is ridiculous, but they sick. They sick in the mind. They're sick in the mind. They really sick. They sick and demented. But you know, like I said, I was their mama in a past life, so mama had to come back and clean house, and it went open season on all their ass, and now they all paying for that. The whole family paying for that. Like, that generational curse, it's gonna break with me because they gotta go. That's how you break the curse. You gotta get rid of everything tied to that curse because they're spiritually contracted to that curse. So once you come and break the curse, that means everything tied to that curse gets wiped out because they gotta start something new. And that's what it was, time for new beginnings. Senora Chavez, the Motion, the Movement, the Campaign. I am gonna go on Facebook Live and freestyle my music. Now, I did the ponytails, but I don't know. Should I do the ponytails? I thought they would have been cute, but I don't know. Maybe I should, like, put some, like, balls or something here. Think they'll be cuter in balls? Like, what would be a cuter updo? Should I put bangs with it? Look, I look Asian for real, like Minnie Mouse. Put some cat ears up here for real. Or maybe I should do a bang. Like, should do a bang. I don't know. I don't like this. Let's see. Let's find another hairdo, y'all. Because this one not what I want. But yeah, y'all. Sodom and Gomorrah, this series. We need to call this series Sodom and Gomorrah. The Sodom and Gomorrah Chronicles. Like, life in Sodom and Gomorrah. Tell y'all all this crazy stuff that I went through. That ain't even half. Like, it. Y'all, this is a whole series for real. We gonna follow the series on Makeup and Chill. The Sodom and Gomorrah Tale of Two Cities series. That's what we gonna call it. Tale of Two Cities. This is the series. So this is episode 2 of the series. I got more stories coming. Let me fix my hair. Do something cute. Okay, here we go. This looks better. I think this is cuter. This look better. All right, Queen NT, Senora Chavez. Love y'all. More content coming soon.